Hype Man and I had just successfully located the lost spring that we had found some years before, which was located way in the back of the lake. You have to travel through a huge beaver bog labyrinth in order to find it. And it's not easy to find, and you can only get there if the water level is high enough, and it was just barely high enough that we did find it. So now here we are on our return trip, headed back to camp. We had camped the previous night, and we were going to camp one more night. Well, on the way out of the beaver bog, I noticed that Hype Man was paddling a little bit crooked, if you understand what I mean. He was carrying a very heavy cargo, and it seems he had dipped into the cargo a little bit. The cargo had gotten lighter, but that cargo also, it seems, was contributing to a persistent swamping issue with this kayak. And this particular kayak has been through absolute hell. This is a kayak that I just found washed up on Bird Island, and it's just something that I keep around. I've used it a couple times myself, but mostly I just loan it out to people, and I think probably Hype Man has used it more than anybody. When we got back out to the main lake, we had plenty good wind still, and camp was essentially in a straight line for my sailing skiff, basically a broad reach. So very easy sail. We're making good speed, but we're really not going all that fast because I tow him on the kayak going close hauled sometimes in a pretty brisk wind. And that's really beating up the boats about as much as you can going into the waves. So this should really be nothing sailing downwind. At this point, he indicates to me that he's got some water coming in the boat, and it looks like it's getting really difficult to balance and just to stay sitting in it. And then he says, all right, we need to unhook this thing. And at first I was like, all right, yeah, just we'll throw the line off. But then I thought, well, you know what, we're already so close to the bank, it just makes more sense just to keep going. We're only a few hundred yards away, so I just stay hooked up. Apparently he was quite a bit worse off than I had thought, because this is what happened.
Oh shit.
You'll be alright, dude. Balance. We're almost there.
Like it's coming in.
Dude, don't wobble it.
I'm trying not to, but it's
hard. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hype Man is a former lifeguard and a really good swimmer, so I wasn't really too worried about this happening, and he didn't seem too worried either. But seeing how fast my boat was sailing away from him, I didn't feel too good about that. So I turned the sails over and got up close to him and just kind of tried to stay as close as I could to him in case he needed something to grab onto.
Grab your boat.
Yeah, grab on. It was just like too unstable to stay in it.
Oh, shit.
You okay, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just out of breath.
Damn. Looks like it's got an outboard on the back. Had this happened out in the very middle of the lake, we might have actually been in some trouble. Even though Hype Man would never admit it, he probably could swim that far. I know I couldn't swim that far. He probably could. He claims he can. I believe him. And so we ended up pulling up onto this beach with a beach party going on right there at the campground. Just pull up with our 1800 skiff and our swamped out kayak. And there's all these people listening to music, and this girl's teaching her dog to swim. So I don't think nobody was even paying attention to us, though, is the funny thing. Like I don't think they even realized what had happened. But we just casually pulled up, and Hype Man starts to drain in the boat out.
That's not really cool.
Once all the water was bailed out, We probably would have been fine to hook up the tow rope again, but we decided just to let Hype Man paddle under his own power. And for the first time that I can remember, Hype Man agreed to let me haul his cargo. He agreed to let me take his cooler. Turns out that was a terrible mistake.
You know what you shouldn't have done? Trusted me with this!